Bathfitter High School Hoops presented by Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome to Mountaintop, Luzerne County. Tonight it's a Wyoming Valley Conference Division I clash between Pittston area and Crestwood in a Coaches versus Cancer Spotlight game. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, and we are back with high school hoops here on MyTV WQMY, and what a week to be back. Suits and Sneakers Week for Coaches versus Cancer of NEPA. All the proceeds going this week to the American Cancer Society of Northeastern Pennsylvania. And somebody who is very familiar with this campaign is Billy Jones, who lost his mother to cancer a few years ago. He's a former Forest City coach and PIAA referee. What does this week mean to you, and what about Coaches versus Cancer really helped you along the way?
Coaches versus Cancer is just a great initiative. We in Northeastern Pennsylvania have the largest initiative without a Division I university. It's unity. We're there for one another. If we have somebody that's a loved one that's battling cancer, we remember those that were lost, we celebrate survivors, and we bring awareness to important things like early detection.
They did it here at Crestwood with the Wall of Hope, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. But let's talk about tonight's game, Billy. Talk about Pittston area first, the Patriots. They lost their top two scorers from last year. They struggled putting the ball in the basket, but one pleasant surprise has been our Bathfitter spotlight player, Paul Jordan McCary, who's leading the way.
Yeah, Paul coming off his biggest game of the season. He dropped 26 points on Saturday down at Berwick, where the Patriots snuck out of town with a 2-point win. He can really shoot the basketball. He's a true three-point threat. However, if you crowd him off that three-point line, he's got a good mid-range game, so Crestwood's going to have to pick their poison.
Crestwood may be one of the hottest teams in the Wyoming Valley Conference in all of District 2. A big win the other night against Hazelton. They have a bunch of seniors leading the way, including our other Bathfitter spotlight player, Matt Sklarowski.
Matt does a lot of things, and he does them well. Can he drain the three-point shot? You could check that box. Can he get to the rim and finish and absorb contact? You can check that box. Does he have a good mid-range game? You can check that box as well. He's a former football player here at Crestwood. He embraces physicality. He doesn't mind, mixing it up underneath as well.
Keys to the game brought to you by Blaze Alexander. First for the Patriots. See what they say.
Pittston area, their number one priority is defensive intensity. That's the trademark of an Al Semenza team. They want to get that Crestwood offense out of its comfort zone. And then, of course, rebounding is huge as well. Pittston area giving up some height underneath. That's a major concern for the Patriots coaching staff.
And for the Comets?
And for the Comets, they want to speed up the game. How will they do that? They'll do it by extending their defense full court pressure. They want to get Pittston area to have some rush shots on the back end of that press, and also they want to crowd the three-point shooters of the Patriots off the three-point line. We talked about McGarry. He's a three-point threat along with Chris Scavo, who will be coming off the bench tonight. Well,
we should have a low-scoring game, but a good one. These two teams have already met this year, with Crestwood pulling out an 8-point win. It's High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY. The opening tip and the starting lineups are next.
You're watching Bathfitter High School Hoops presented by Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships, only on MyTV WQMY.
Here's the starting lineup brought to you by Medicus Urgent Care for Pittston area, who comes in 5-9. Lopresto, very good freshman. Paul Jordan McGarry, Aiden Lynn, Matt Walter, Kieran Bilbo. Al Semenza's back after illness, kept him away for some games. 500-plus winner, of course, was at Old Forge before. For Crestwood and the Comets, under the direction of Mark Atherton, we have Johnson, Wright, Chopla, Sklarowski, and Acapito. We'll talk about him throughout the game. 6'4" sophomore. Referees tonight: Joe DiMaggio, John Basic, and Larry Clausen. And this Wyoming Valley Conference Division I clash is about to get underway on a Wednesday night. These two teams met January 4th, 46-38 the score. In Pittston area, Crestwood pulled that out. Here comes the Patriots, averaging 42 points per game, Billy, but lately they've only averaged 33, only 20 points against Hazelton.
Yeah, they did have a good showing down at Berwick on Saturday where McGarry went off for 26. So he may find his rhythm early here offensively as we have a foul, and it'll go over to Crestwood. Looks like we have an offensive foul off the ball.
Looked like it went against Aiden Lynn, his first, so Crestwood comes back on the floor. This is Chaz Wright who will run it. Team that averages 51 points per game. Big win the other night against Hazleton, 50-38 right here. That's their first win over a team with a winning record this year. So they're on a roll, are the Comets.
Pittston area man-to-man.
Back out to Acapito, and the sophomore's first shot is off the mark. And it will go over to Pittston area. Tempo in this game, especially with an Al Semenza type coach game, what are we going to see?
He wants to slow it down, and right now Crestwood extending its defense, picking up full court, wanting to speed up Pittston area, maybe force them to take a rush shot on the back end of the press, or even better, get a turnover. However, Pittston area was prepared there for the full court man.
McCary's first two lays that one up and in, the junior. McCary last year only scored 12 points all season. Now he's the team's leading scorer.
That shows how much skill development in the offseason pays off. I'm sure he put his time in the gym during the summer months.
Crestwood running a little bit of a motion offense back out to Chaz Wright. Not really a three-point shooting team, just 45 on the year. As I say that, Jopola's first shot is way off the mark. So 0 for 2 from downtown tonight for Crestwood so far.
The Patriots getting the start they wanted, forcing 2 perimeter shots, and right now they're dictating the pace here, running a very methodical half-court offense.
McGarry guarded by Johnson. Tempo the key, as Billy just talked about, for this team of Pittston area.
Whether you're guarding Pittston area or Crestwood, you're really going to have to work defensively. They're going to, guys aren't just going to stand around. There's going to be lots of screening both on and off the ball, sending cutters through, and they'll take advantage of any type of lapse on the defense.
Walter over to Bilbo. Nice pass, foul underneath. Kieran Bilbo, the senior, going to go to the line for 2.
Bilbo only 5'11", but plays a lot bigger than what he is listed. He's physical, and he doesn't mind throwing his muscle around underneath.
Bilbo hits the first, 42% on the year. Remember now, in high school basketball, 5 fouls per quarter, and then it resets. All shots are 2 foul shots in the game. And can't get the friendly bounce, so a 3-0 lead for the Patriots. Pretty much what, if you're a Patriots fan, you like to see, considering they lost this one, coming off a win over Berwick the other night, as Billy mentioned. Good shot to Acapito. Nice pass from Sklarowski.
Great ball movement by the Comets to find a diving Acapito for the easy layup. And once again, they extend that defense, pick up full court on the mid basket.
Pittston working around, outside shot, no good. But Bilbo, only at 5'10", gets the rebound but couldn't get it up to go. McGarry's going to force a turnover. Great job by the junior on the defensive end.
Yeah, Johnson stepped on the baseline, so it'll be Patriot ball underneath. Comets went to their bench early. Ryan Seckler checking in for them. He had a huge game in that win on Monday night against Hazleton, 7 points off the bench.
Walter, a little room. The junior's floater, no good. You saw Mark Atherton, 29th year, 505 wins. Wright comes down, his floater off the mark. Offensive board for Crestwood, and Acapito's going to be called for a travel.
And even on the dead ball turnover here, Crestwood picking up full court. Actually, they're switching it up now. They're in a 1-2-2 zone. Pittston area is going to want to get the ball in the middle, avoid trap areas such as just inside half court and along the sidelines.
Pittston area breaks that press. The Presto cut off. Got a hand on it. It's sold for Crestwood. Comets push it down. Now we'll set this one up. Coming in averaging 51 points per game. Just 45 threes on the year, as I said. Wright's floater is off the mark. Comes Bilbo.
Crestwood ice cold from the perimeter to start. Give credit to Pittston area's defense on that, and we talked about in the open. That's one of their keys of the game, their team defense.
Well, Crestwood just gives up 36 points per game. 38 the other night to Hazleton, a big win there. Nice shot, Bilbo, off the mark. That was partially blocked by Acapito. Crestwood doesn't have numbers. From downtown is Seckler into the game. Ryan Seckler, a junior. His shot no good. Walter with the foul, called on.
They got Chaz Wright. That was a
Chaz
block.
Wright. That will be our timeout. 3:39 left. Should be our timeout. And we're going to hold.
Your Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships marquee matchup. Pittston area's Kieran Bilbo, only 5'11", but plays inside. He's going to have his hands full tonight guarding Aiden Acapito, both inside and outside. Acapito is 6'4", but he can also step out, knock down the three. He can handle it on the perimeter. So Pittston area, they're going to have their work cut out for them this evening, giving up lots of height underneath.
And there is Bilbo, the only senior on this team. 3 juniors start along with Lepresta, who had a fantastic football season. So the future looks bright for Al Semenza's team. They're leading 3-2 in this one, 3:39 and counting. After the right foul, Patriot ball underneath. Bilbo had a shot, opportunity to shoot it. Acapito came over just in time.
Yeah, I think size there was a factor. That's why he kicked it out. And Patriots will run a scripted set here, drawn up by Al Semenza in the TV timeout.
Yeah, Pittston losers of 6 of the last 7, trying to break off that. Right shot no good, but another offensive board for Pittston area. That's right up their alley, Billy.
Pittston area could not have scripted a better start. It's a low-scoring first period. They're dictating the pace, a slow pace, and they're getting after it on the offensive glass.
Good hands from Skorowski. He's pushing it. And we're going to have a foul and 2 shots for Chaz Wright.
There we are in transition. They hit ahead to Wright. Pittston area tried to step in and take the charge, but that's a block, and that'll send the lefty to the free throw line. That foul is on McGarry.
And not a good foul shooting team, Crestwood. Mark Atherton says it's their Achilles heel, and in fact, Chaz Wright just 44% from the line. Misses the first one.
And he's your primary ball handler too. He, sets up the Comets offense. He handles the ball the vast majority of the time in the half court. So you got to lead late. You want your primary ball handler to be a good free throw shooter from the line. That could be a factor tonight in a close game late.
There you see the last meeting. We talked about that, January 4th. We're into the second half of play in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Wilkes-Barre area leads the Division I over Crestwood right now. Downtown for McGarry, his 33rd 3 on the year.
And he had 5 on Saturday when he went off for 26 down at Berwick. Little back screen there for Agapito to get him open down low. And he's going to work against the shorter Bilbo.
Like to see him a little bit more on the blocks, wouldn't you?
You would think, he's got a 5-inch height advantage over the guy that's guarding him.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a mismatch they will look to exploit.
He can't hit the outside shot. That's just a 2. But he has all 4 points for the Comets.
Acapito very comfortable on the perimeter, not just shooting, but handling the ball. A lot of times he'll dribble it into dribble handoffs.
So now Lepresto and the Patriots slow it down, get the call from Al Semenza. Lepresto had the corner, no good. Walter knocked in there, and they're going to call a foul. Looks like on Skorowski on Walter, just the 3rd team foul of the quarter.
We'll see what the Patriots run here, out of bounds under. Out of bounds situations, both on the baseline and sideline, equivalent to like special teams in football. If you could steal a basket, 1 or 2 of those a game, that could make the difference in a close game down the stretch.
Both teams probably go 7 deep at best. So we'll see the starting 5 in here if it's a close game most of tonight. Don't be surprised if Pittston area now 114 holds the ball to the end of the quarter.
That's a strong possibility.
Oh, McCary's going to turn and shoot, and thought he was feeling it. And here come the Comets, down 2. Johnson likes to shoot it. Acapito had Lane, and Acapito ties this one up.
And right now, he's the X factor in this first quarter.
And we talked about how that was going to be the matchup to watch. He's the tallest kid on the court. McGarry, back to the rim. What a rebound by Lynn. No foul, but on the other side is Bilbo.
Relentless effort by Pittston area. Bilbo has a high motor. He may be 5'11", but he doesn't play like he's 5'11".
So let's see if the Comets hold it for the last shot. Down 2. Acapito, not really a post-up player at 6'4", but he'll take it to the rim and the foul and 2 shots. 15 seconds left in this quarter.
Pittston area strictly man-to-man in this opening quarter. You would think maybe Al Semenza would have pulled out the trickery, maybe a little gimmick defense, box in 1, triangle in 2. Of course, the night is still young.
That's right. So future good here for Crestwood, 6'4" sophomore. He has all of their points.
And he's got such a nice touch. He's only going to get better. His best basketball, he thinks, ahead of him. He's going to get stronger.
He had 18 against Berwick and 10 the last time these two teams played. And he's matched that almost pretty shortly. He's got 8.
And there's that full court pressure again by the Comets.
Pittston area does a nice job breaking it. McGarry got blocked from behind by Acapito. Still time for Crestwood. They push it. Seckler lays it up and in. And the shot is no good at the end of the quarter, so a little run by Crestwood, and they take the 2-point lead. Mark Atherton's team trying to get win number 12. We'll head to quarter number 2 after this. Here are tonight's Figure Law Firm Scholar athletes who will qualify for a possible $1,000 scholarship at the end of the year. Pittston area track and field star Aria Messner. She's a triple jump qualifier, high jump qualifier, and long jump qualifier for state. She's a secretary of the yearbook club and FBLA state qualifier as well. She volunteers all year long for cleanups and everything else. Kyle Orson is a soccer player from Crestwood, 4.3 GPA. He was the captain of the team, National Honor Society, National Business Society, church volunteer at the annual bazaar. Those are your Figure Law Firm Scholar athletes. Welcome back to Mountaintop in Crestwood High School. The Comets surge ahead with a late run, Billy. They lead this game 10-8.
Yeah, tough break for Pittston area at the end of the quarter. McGarry on the back end of the press break missing a layup, and then Seckler coming down right before the buzzer, getting a layup to end the period.
Well, Acapito picks up where he left off. Biggest lead of the night for either team. It's a 4-point swing.
Acapito playing like an all-conference player tonight.
10 of the 12 points. The Pittston area was feeling it. They're doing a good job on the offensive boards. Missed a couple outside shots.
Little run and jump defense here by the Comets, looking to trap here in the half court. Again, another method by Mark Atherton to speed up Pittston area. Force them to take a shot they don't want to take.
Oh, Bilbo, amongst the trees, pulled it down, but got blocked then by Acapito.
He does not quit on any plays.
He's a round mound of rebound or something like that, right? I mean,
he's a mini Barkley.
Mini Barkley.
I like it.
There's Alan Poro, 6-foot senior into the game. A lot of seniors on this Crestwood team.
Poro more of a slasher than a shooter.
Yeah, Seckler's outside shot no good. Second chance points will be what Pittston area wants to avoid against this Comet team. Oh, turnover by Seckler. He was right there, but he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, and they're looking to trap anywhere in the half court along the sideline. Rotation was good there. Seckler had the steal, unfortunately stepped on the sideline.
It's too bad in a little box in the corner we couldn't put like a shot of each coach, because both coaches are boisterous. Both coaches are really doing a nice job, which they should. The longest tenured coaches, I believe, probably in the Wyoming Valley Conference, and maybe in a District 2.
Both members of the 500 win club. Mark Atherton picked up his over the holiday.
Yeah.
Beating Holy Redeemer, yeah.
His son plays on Holy Redeemer. Walter inside, no good, so Pittston area's gone cold.
Patriots sticking man-to-man. I would not be surprised, though, like I said, if they change defenses, possibly go to a gimmick.
Lepresto thought he had the turnover. Instead, he's going to be called for the foul. First of this quarter for the 5'10 freshman.
Lepresto lucky there. He did not get teed up.
Yeah,
threw the ball
threw the
away
ball,
in frustration. Yeah. I thought it was a good move by the officials, to kind of let it pass. But he was in that gray area where you could have justified him getting a technical foul, tossing the ball away.
So at the 1:30 mark, Pittston area of the first quarter had their last basket. So keep that in mind. Barrow, no good. Great block out by Bilbo. And back over to Acapito. Has the lane again. And a charge. Nice job inside by Matt Walter. Going to pick up the charge at Acapito.
Yeah, he beat Acapito to the spot. As you can see there, Walter established legal guarding position. Great call by the official on the baseline. It's going the other way. However, it does give Crestwood a chance to extend its defense, press, perhaps beat Pittston area up, or even better, create a turnover and get an easy basket off that turnover.
Chopla, Jennings, and Sklarowski back into the game for Crestwood. Full court pressure. Pittston area's done a nice job tonight, though, breaking it. They do this time, but no easy baskets.
Whether it's a man or zone press by Crestwood, the Patriots want to avoid bringing the ball to the sideline.
McGarry, no good. That was short, but Bilbo, offensive rebound.
It's not pretty, but Bilbo gets stuff done. You can see why he rarely steps off the floor for the Patriots.
Yeah, Semenza yelling out the play, wanted them to slow down a little bit. They haven't scored in this quarter.
But still only a 4-point game.
McGarry, he's only hit one of those tonight. Shoot, though, Billy.
Yes.
They'll start falling pretty quick, but Pittston area cannot get into a big hole.
That saying, what is it? Good shooters have short memories? Yeah, if McGarry has a little bit of daylight, he's going to pull the trigger.
So now Mason Chopla, the senior, he'll slow it down, and Crestwood will get into their play. Acapito, he could shoot it from about there. Little stepper comes in.
If you're Pittston area, that's what you want to live with, though, giving up the perimeter jump shot to Agapito. You don't want him to beat you on the block.
Walter cut off in the corner. Get a little physical now underneath. A little pushing and shoving going on here.
Crestwood sticking in the man-to-man in the half court.
We'll take a break on the next whistle. Walter had Jennings posted, but takes it back out. Turnover.
Great hands by Wright to create that turnover. Beautiful
nice
ball
job.
movement.
Inside, they work it around, and Jennings has it. And Walter is going to limp up, and we'll take a timeout. 3:42 left. 14-8 is the score as Walter gets up with a bad ankle. Al Semenza's team down 6 now. Billy, time to start talking some district playoffs. 5A, Crestwood's moved up into the second spot. They improved to 11-4, but Abington Heights leading the way, undefeated so far on the season.
Yeah, Abington Heights living up to the preseason hype. It's going to be a tough task for any of these teams to knock off Fedor, Marion, Nealon, and company for the Comets. However, games are not won on paper. I would not sleep on Dallas in 5A. They have Michael Cumbo, who is heading to East Stroudsburg, along with Jude Nucito, and Big Nick Williams, who is committed to play his college basketball for Andrew Kettle at Keystone College.
Right, and we'll see them February 8th against Hazleton, Dallas. Bilbo got rejected, pulled away. Crestwood back at it, trying to extend this lead, and that was off the mark. Jennings right there for another 2. He's got 2 in a row, does Jennings. And it's an 8-point lead now as Pittston area has gone cold. They led 8-6, Billy, late in the first quarter, and they have not scored since.
Yeah, they've been stuck on 8. I'm sure the next possession for Pittston area will be well scripted during the media timeout. Al Semenza, I'm sure, went thoroughly over the next 2 or 3 possessions for Pittston area what they want to run. And of course, Al Semenza's biggest fear came to fruition that last possession where Crestwood hurt them on the glass, got the offensive rebound, second chance opportunities.
Yeah, Lim's going to pick up the foul. That will put Matt Sklarowski at the line, shooting 61% on the season. Sklarowski scoreless so far this evening, hits this one. Walter, who sprained his ankle, looks like he tweaked it a little bit before the break, is back on the floor. But I'm going to ask you, Pittston area, what are you seeing? What do they need to do other than make shots?
I think they got to run some good offense, maybe get something going to the rim, maybe with back screens in the half court. Obviously, you want to get McGarry open from 3.
Well, that will help. That's what the doctor ordered. Lepresto's first 3 is 8th on the season. The first field goal in the second quarter for the Patriots.
And Lepresto shot that with confidence.
Well, Matt Sklarowski says I could do that from the corner.
And Sklarowski was the X factor in the first meeting between these two teams. He had 12 points in the Comets' 8-point win up in Yatesville.
And now we have a 3-point barrage. That's Scavo into the game for Pittston area. Chris Scavo hits his 16th 3.
There's a look, the hit ahead in transition. Scavo shooting that with confidence. And Mark Atherton, we talked in the pregame, one of his biggest fears was both McGarry and Scavo from behind the 3-point line. They want to crowd those shooters off the line, force them to shoot contested 2s.
Well, here's what bookend by Berwick on our list. The last Berwick win, 52-50, but then you see 6 losses in a row, starting with Old Forge for the Patriots.
Yeah, a little bit of a rebuild for Pittston area this year. One of their expected returning players, Silvio Giardina, out for the year with an injury. It doesn't look like he's going to come back, but Al Semenza is one of those coaches. He gets the best out of what he has, and they usually play their best basketball down the stretch.
Well, they need to start playing now. They have a tough schedule coming up. We'll talk about that coming up a little later on. They have Hazelton on Friday. That's where it starts.
Change the defense here by Pittston area. A little 1-3-1 look. Crestwood going with a 2-guard front. However, we got an offensive foul.
Yeah, Bilbo. Sklarowski took it to the rack, but Bilbo was right there. Let's look at this one, Billy.
Yeah, Bilbo not afraid to give up his body, stepping in, taking the offensive foul. Now we know why Kieran Bilbo is a favorite of Al Semenza.
Sklarowski's second foul, second team foul of this quarter. Again, you just get 5.
Crestwood changing press defenses here. They're going back to the zone, the 1-2-2 3-quarter court, but they'll match up here on the back end.
Fight for the ball, and it ends up in Wright's hands. Johnson running, and he's going to convert Derek Johnson's first field goal.
Crestwood getting what they want, speeding up the game, creating turnovers, getting points off those turnovers. They're sticking with that 1-2-2. Pittston area needs to avoid sidelines here. Those are key trap areas for Crestwood.
Scavo might have his foot on the line, can't hit his second. Looks like Pittston area is getting an opportunity to shoot the outside shot early in the possession, but they're not taking it.
Correct. They're always methodical. They want to get the best shot possible. You know, it's kind of like in football. The team usually that wins time of possession has the best chance to win at the end of the game. They want to eat up some clock, unless if they have a easy transition basket.
Let's see if they can get on a roll. McGarry, count that!
And Pittston area assistant coach Pat McGough said you cannot afford to leave him open. That McGarry, if he shoots it with confidence and he's open, he can knock that shot down.
That's the 8th point for McGarry, his second 3 on the night, and it's a big one. Cuts the lead to 6.
Great job by Pittston area to get the ball out of the trap, find the open shooter. I mean, Crestwood's defense had that player along the sideline and White dead to rights, and he somehow got the ball out of there, found the open shooter, and of course, you know, defense shifted on one side of the floor. You know, McGarry wide open on the opposite side. He caught it in rhythm, shot it with confidence, and right now we got a 6-point game.
Yeah, we do. Crestwood back at it tomorrow. They host Tunkhannock, and then Saturday they have Dallas. They have a tough schedule coming up as well. 5 of their last 8 games are against teams with winning records.
Yeah, this Division I in the Wyoming Valley Conference, living up to the hype. There's some talented teams, Wilkes-Barre area, Hazleton, Crestwood here tonight, and of course Dallas. And a team like Pittston area you can't sleep on.
Nope, not at all. Under a minute to play here in the first half. Coming up at the half, we'll have a Coaches versus Cancer interview with former Hazleton area coach and now board member of CVC, Mike Joseph.
Pittston area is sending 2 to the ball, looking to trap. Nearly got the turnover.
Looks like they're back into a man. Crestwood, I think, might hold it here.
Yeah, Crestwood looking like they're going to play for the final shot of the half. It's like a chess match for both coaches.
I was thinking the same exact thing. 10 seconds and counting. Pittston area needs to stop here, keep this a 6-point game at the half. Almost taken away by McGarry. The shot, long range from right, is off the mark. Good defense for Pittston area, and they have a fighting chance going into the second half. They're trailing by 6. It's been Crestwood in this one in the second quarter. 23-17 is your score. Again, coming up to the half, we'll talk about Coaches versus Cancer of NEPA, and then Billy and I will be back with stats and highlights from the first half.
Welcome to the Wegmans Halftime.
Welcome back to tonight's game. It's Suits and Sneakers Week for Coaches versus Cancer of NEPA for the American Cancer Society. And joining me right now is one of their board members and former coach at Hazleton Area High School, Mike Joseph. And Mike, how many years has Coaches been Cancer been around in NEPA? And tell us about what's going on this week for Suits and Sneakers.
This is my 18th year being involved in it. And it was right around the time when Andrew Kettle was at Mountain View High School, and one of his players' parents was going through cancer, and he knew what they were doing at the national level, and he wanted to start something locally. And you know, the leadership that we have in northeastern Pennsylvania, Coaches versus Cancer, has been tremendous. I mean, Andrew has taken this to the national stage. He's been recognized for it. We've raised some $4 million in less than 20 years. You know, people like Jamie Kane, people like Nino Camino, who just left to go to the Wyoming Valley Chamber of Commerce, other coaches, Larry Pagula up at Valley View. I've been very, very fortunate to work with great people in this. And for me to get involved, it was a personal thing. You know, I'm a 2-time cancer survivor myself. It's 20 years since I was first diagnosed this year. My brother is a cancer survivor, and you know, today is actually 3 years since my mother passed away from lung cancer back in 2021. So it's a real personal mission for me to be involved in this, and hopefully someday get to the point where we don't have to do it anymore.
Well, the schools in the Lackawanna League and Wyoming Valley Conference are out there raising money. How are they doing that?
There's so many different ways that we've done it here at Hazleton when I was the coach, and even in the 4 years removed since I haven't been the coach, I've still been involved, and we've raised over $10,000 during that time. The t-shirts are a big thing. You know, the community, our teachers, our students, staff members have always done a great job here at Hazleton area promoting Coaches versus Cancer by wearing the shirts. But we've done other types of things, you know, going to each of the middle schools here and having the students do a coin collection. We've had other things where at the games we've gone around and done a bucket collection of donations during it. We've reached out to community businesses. There have been so many different ways to do it, and doing it online now has been a big thing. I know back in 2021, we raised almost $7,000 during the COVID with an online campaign that people just really jumped on board, and a lot of different things. And you know, I think cancer is something that touches so many people. Coach Gavio and the girls program has always been involved with me as I've done this here at Hazleton area. His mother died of cancer as well. Everybody's connected to this, so people, it's not a big ask to get people to be involved in this.
Obviously, Suits and Sneakers Week is your biggest campaign. What else do they do during the year?
Well, we've had some great, functions throughout our time in less than 20 years. The basketball was a great thing. We did that for several years. We had some great high-profile coaches. Jim Boeheim was here for it. We've had our coaches' breakfast where we've had some great Division I coaches come in and speak. From Dave Paulson at Bucknell University, Matt Langle at Colgate, Phil Martelli. We've had a great group of people speak on our behalf. Our golf tournament is a big event for us in the off season. This year it's going to be in the summer. The last 2 years it was in the fall. We had Joe Lenardi there a few years ago. That was one of our special guests. I had a chance to play in his foursome. It was a great opportunity. So we try and have at least one event going on in the spring, summer, and fall to really kind of push us through. This is the main thing.
Well, thank you, Mike, and hopefully the general public can get out there this week to support Suits and Sneakers for Coaches versus Cancer of NEPA. We'll be back after this with the second half of tonight's game. Welcome back to the Wegmans halftime report. Pittston area down 23-17 to Crestwood. Bob Ide and Mr. Billy Jones back on Coaches versus Cancer night of NEPA. Suits and Sneakers week. Billy and I and our suits can't see our sneakers, but trust us, we got them. 13-0 run by Crestwood towards the end of first into the second, and a 6-2 run at the half for Pittston area. And our score now, Pittston area down 6.
Yeah, pretty much what we expected. Pittston area in the game because of the perimeter shot. They had 4 3-pointers in the first half. Crestwood got a lot of their points off of Pittston area mistakes, whether it be rush shots on the back end of the press or turnovers. Egan Agapito, a big factor early and often for Crestwood, not only getting to the rim, but hitting the perimeter shot as well. He's very skilled.
Agapito leading Crestwood with 10 points. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. As Pittston area breaks this press, that's McGarry, their leading scorer.
Yeah, and Crestwood, I would assume, will go back to that full court pressure, start the second half. Relentless work. Our guy Bilbo, Kieran Bilbo, with the second chance bucket there for the Patriots. And then great ball movement here. Agapito, pull-up jumper along the baseline. Poro, great ball movement here. Swung from side to side, extra pass. Down inside to Jennings for the easy layup. And then Poro again, driving it, kicking it, finding a wide open Sklarowski. And then Chaz Wright to Derek Johnson in transition. Johnson finishing with the weak hand, the right hand. And we're at 23-17, 6-point game here at the half.
6-point game at the half. Pittston area in the 4A bracket of District 5A, right? 5A. But 4A has Valley View out in front over Scranton Prep and Wyoming area from the Wyoming Valley Conference right there. Prep, you look at their record, 9-7, but they had a tough schedule, and that's why you have the rating points that you do.
They played a very demanding schedule preseason. Obviously, they had the Line-A tournament, but before the Line-A tournament, they played Roman Catholic out of Philadelphia, Executive Charter out of the Lehigh Valley. Valley View, always ultra-competitive each year under Mike Kerpus. They have a big guy by the name of Kyle Roop inside who, is not only a scorer but very physical, will control the glass.
So, Mr. DiMaggio ready to go here. John Basic and Larry Clausen, your referees tonight from the Wyoming Valley Conference. Pittston area has the possession arrow. They get the ball, and they get a chance to cut into the Crestwood lead. Changes for Al Cemen's team in the second half, Billy.
I could see them possibly going to a gimmick defense just to kind of disrupt Crestwood's offensive rhythm. And I'm sure they probably reviewed how to attack and handle Crestwood's pressure, not only full court but half court. Comments here, stick him man-to-man.
Is there a matchup you like to take advantage of if you're Pittston area?
If you're Pittston area, I would like to maybe try and pull Agapito away from the rim and not have their rim protector in there, as McGarry, once again, finds the hot hand.
So that makes it an 8-2 run now, and back to a 4-point lead. Pittston area back into this one. Behind McGarry, their leading scorer.
And the Patriots sticking man-to-man. Not a change in defense yet.
Agapito hasn't scored in a while. He had 8 first quarter points, just 2 in the second. And that one went off the mark. So Pittston area now, again, feeling Lepresto, and we have a 2-point game. Just like that, Al Semenza's team is back into it.
Absolutely, and don't be surprised too. Crestwood's coming out. They're turning up the pressure defensively. Don't be surprised if Pittston area maybe gets an easy backdoor layup out of the deal.
Lepresto has 5, and another missed shot from Crestwood. They can tie it up. Can Pittston? Back to Aiden Lynn.
Lepresto thought about it, but they'll run offense here. Be very methodical.
McGarry feeling it. Lepresto feeling even better. That was off the mark. A little flat on the shot, and it will remain Pittston area ball. But a 10-2 run now from Al Semenza's team. They're back in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Al Semenza teams, they're not going to go away. They're always ultra competitive. You're always going to get their best shot, even if it's considered a rebuilding year, which this year is considered a rebuilding year. But they're going to play their best basketball down the stretch, and February is right around the corner. Little ISO there for Lepresto.
Yeah, Lepresto, and he's going to get the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot 2 and possibly tie this one up. The foul is going to be on Chaz Wright. His second foul, but the freshman pouring it on, but shoots only 46%, and Mark Atherton's going to call a quick timeout, and looks like he's turning red.
Yeah, he cannot be happy with the start to the second half. You talked about mismatches, Bob. Al Semenza just exploited one there. He had the smaller, quicker Lepresto being guarded by the bigger Chaz Wright, and of course he did a little ISO on the right side of the floor. Lepresto got to the rim. He's being rewarded with 2 shots.
Yeah. Here's what Crestwood had this year. Again, they're a bit of a roll. They lost to Wilkes-Barre, but 6-0 Wilkes-Barre playing very well. But overall, you see good development along the way, and they're getting better as the season has gone along.
And you always hear like NCAA tournament time when they talk about bubble teams, resume wins. Their resume win was just Monday night. Hazleton right here. Hazleton, one of the preseason favorites going into Division I, and Crestwood probably had one of their best wins in a while, beating the Cougars by 12 here on their home floor.
Yeah, Lepresto, a little surprising, 14 of 32 from the line this year. And misses those 2. It could have tied it up, but again, both teams don't take that charity stripe very well. Skorowski cut off underneath.
Pittston area showed 1-3-1 briefly towards the end of the first half, but they're back man-to-man.
Wright caught underneath, can't get it. And the taller Comets cannot pull down the offensive board. Here's Pittston area again, doing a great job on the boards tonight.
Yes, and that was one of the concerns by Al Semenza. Not happy there with the unpressured turnover.
Nope, not happy at all with that pass from Matt Walter.
And Pittston area does not have much of a bench this year. They'll play 7 max. Semenza, for the most part, will stick with his first 5 through the duration of this game, unless probably somebody gets in foul trouble.
Scavo came in and hit a 3, so he can shoot from the bench. Back inside Seckler, a little turnaround Jay.
Great job by Crestwood. Ran a little cross screen along the baseline to get Seckler the ball on the post for the easy hoop.
And that's their first field goal of this third quarter. Both teams have had a dry spell in this game.
There's another ISO. Looking to get Lynn on Seckler. Looking for the backdoor cut there. Wasn't there. But Crestwood coming out and overplaying. It can be there later on.
Nice look inside, but Bilbo is blocked from behind by Seckler and by Skorowski.
There's a look there inside. Lynn with the extra pass. Over Zapla said, not so fast, my friend.
McGarry, great pass underneath the Lynn. He's going to be fouled.
Pittston area sharing the basketball, playing unselfish. And this is kind of what we expected, a physical game, a grinder. Might not be the prettiest game in the world, but I have a hunch this is going to go down to the wire.
So Lynn hits that one. He's pretty good at the line, 60% on the year. He had a high this year of 11 points against Nanticoke. So he gives you good minutes.
And with the exception of Bilbo, Pittston area's rotation of key players are all underclassmen. We got a 2-point game here in Mountaintop.
Yeah, we do. 4:30 left in this third quarter. Pittston area was down in this one, 21-11 at one point. They battle back.
I think Crestwood's got to run a set, get Agapito a touch, preferably down low on the block.
Yeah, you can just see the height advantage. I mean, everybody in the building can see that.
Yeah.
But he's not a post-up type player.
A lot of times they'll start him high and back screen for him to get him open.
Right. Into the paint, and we're going to have a offensive foul called on Crestwood.
Looked like an illegal screen away from the ball, and it looked like that was on Sklarowski.
That's his third, Billy.
So we'll see what Mark Atherton does, and he is going to his bench as Johnson's checking in at the scorer's table.
Johnson's has 2 points tonight. He averages 8.5 points a game.
Pittston area got away with a moving screen there.
Yeah, maybe some perspiration on the floor. That's the third Pittston area player on this possession to hit the floor. 3:49 left. We'll take an immediate timeout. 25-23. Got ourselves a good game here in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Well, the Comets don't have an easy path the rest of the way. Tunkhannock under 500, but the rest of them, except for Berwick, all with a winning record. If they can win those, they have a chance to win the conference and the division.
Absolutely. Division I is a dogfight. I think it's a crapshoot. It could be anybody's division. Key for Crestwood, don't get caught looking ahead to Dallas and Hazleton. What's that term? Trap game? Tunkhannock could be a potential trap game. Yeah, it should be interesting to see how Division I plays out here over the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, almost like tonight may be a trap game as some of the Crestwood faithful on hand. And Washington Bullet jerseys in the stand tonight.
How about the young man rocking the Manute Bowl throwback? He is probably the only kid in northeastern Pennsylvania wearing a Manute Bowl jersey. Remember him not only with the Bolts, but the Sixers?
Yeah. Well, it's jersey night, obviously, here at Crestwood.
Pittston area staying man-to-man. Great job by Bilbo to cut off the baseline drive.
Chopla back into the game. He's a senior, number 2 for Crestwood. That was Seckler. Run a little motion again. Johnson got a call for a travel.
Seckler's older brother, Drew, I don't know if you remember him. We covered him a couple of years ago playing now at Wilkes for Izzy Metz.
They're having a good year.
Yeah.
In the Landmark Conference.
Played nationally ranked Catholic down to the wire the other day.
Pretty close, yep. Here comes a trap out front. Pittston area throws it away. Good defense from Crestwood.
Yeah, great job by Crestwood. Again, you don't necessarily have to extend your defense full court to speed them up. They did it there in the half court by trapping, forcing a rush pass, and that was actually, they got more than what they wanted there, getting the turnover, not just speeding them up and forcing a rush shot.
Kind of what we expected from this game. Low scoring, deliberate.
If you're Al Semenza, you're relieved, though, that it's a dead ball turnover. You can get back, set up your defense, not giving up anything in transition.
Still playing man-to-man. Easy path for Chaz Wright. He puts it in. His first 2 of the night.
Pittston area doesn't have the greatest firepower. If this thing gets to 10 or more for Crestwood, it could be lights out. But the longer Pittston area sticks around, the more confident they'll get. Playing with confidence now, but they'll get even more confident.
Back out to McGarry. He's going to be called for a travel. He thought about taking the 3. Took a step instead. And it's a turnover. Unforced. There you see Al Semenza. There you see John Walsh on the right. He coached the team while Al was out with an illness. Now, the thing about John is we have his son JJ working for us in the truck.
I did not know that.
Former Pittston area product. One game we televised, JJ was part of that game.
That's awesome.
So now he's on our crew.
He was quite the player for Coach
he was.
Semenza. A somewhat recent grad of Pittston area.
Yeah. Zach King's right now, not playing.
And my former college teammate, Pat McGough at Marywood, another member of Al Semenza's staff.
Yep. His dad, of course, lost his battle with cancer. So a very special week for him.
Yes, Bob McGough, former Bishop Hannon coach, Seton Catholic, Mountain View, former Scranton City Councilman.
We have a 1-point game. Crestwood led by as much as 10 in this one, but Pittston's battle back.
Great help defense.
Seckler, no good. Acapito out of the game. So now, oh no, Acapito is in the game, excuse me. But Pittston area forced that one, and Crestwood has the ball out of bounds. Now only up a point.
As former WWE announcer Jim Ross used to say, we got ourselves a slobber knocker here.
It is a slobber knocker, and Crestwood can find the basket in this quarter.
And again, Bilbo, defensive rebound.
They only scored 4 points in the quarter, has Crestwood. And
just the way Pittston area wants it.
That's right up their alley. That's the menu. And Crestwood is digging right into it. Lepresto.
And again, that ISO, Lepresto on one side of the floor being guarded by Wright. Al Semenza looking to exploit any mismatch that he can.
McGarry leading the way with 13 points. The junior, who again only had 12 total points last year on varsity. Again, they're going to work for the shot they want. They could take a lead.
They may hold it for the last shot of the period here.
You are absolutely correct.
They're rushing two at the ball.
Here comes a trap. Walter, Lynn, Maida got away with a walk, but Acapito blocked it. Al Semenza can't believe there wasn't a foul, but Bilbo does a nice job that calls the turnover.
Bilbo's everywhere. Like, he's not pretty, but he gets things done. He's effective. Agapito's length there a factor though with the block shot. You can afford to make some mistakes defensively on the perimeter when you got a 6'4" kid in the middle that can jump in and protect the rim.
No doubt Patriots will work for the last shot of the third quarter. They've worked their way back into this game. Here comes the trap from Crestwood, trying to force the issue. Bilbo against Acapito. McGarry feeling it. High arc here, and count it! P.J. McGarry from downtown. And Pittston area's battle back, and they'll have a 2-point lead. Headed to quarter number 4.
And he caught that in rhythm, shot it with confidence.
Stick around, folks. Should have a great ending here in Crestwood. Never count out the Patriots, folks. Down the stretch, they're going to wreak havoc on someone. Hazleton, Wilkes-Barre, Dallas, Wyoming area. It's like Murderer's Row there. And then they end with Tunkhannock Valley West and Tunkhannock again. But, boy, they get through the next 5 games. They can move up in the standings of District 2 5A.
They got the gauntlet there, though, for the first 3. Going to Hazleton, going to Wilkes-Barre area, and then hosting Dallas. If they can get through that 3-0, 2-1, I would consider that a major victory.
Up 2 now. They get the ball. Billy, 12-4. Pittston area outscored Crestwood in that quarter, and they lead by 2.
Little elevator screen there play. McGarry going the opposite direction.
Blocked away by Johnson. Right. Acapito has not scored since early in the second quarter.
And the Comets have to get him involved. First meeting between these two, Pittston area led by 5 at the half. Crestwood got up into the Patriots defensively and ended up winning by 8 up in Yatesville.
And right on cue, they try to get it to Acapito, but Bilbo comes around, but he picks up a foul, maybe a good foul, non-shooting.
Yeah, you're not sending Agapito to the line.
It's just the first of the quarter and first for Bilbo, so.
Great job by Mark Atherton to draw something up to get him a post touch. And here he is getting the little down screen, curling after inbounding the ball. So they're looking to go to him early and often.
How about Bilbo, though, coming across the top, knocking it away. A little confusion on who gets the ball. It is Crestwood ball, but good. Bilbo, just what, 5'11" listed at best, and there you saw it. Doing a nice job.
He embraces contact, doesn't mind mixing it up down low.
So now Crestwood's gone cold a little bit. He can hit it from out there, and he does.
What a soft touch for a young man that's 6'4", and like I said, I think his best basketball is still ahead of him. Needs to get a little bit stronger, but is he super skilled and athletic?
He's got 13. Crestwood back up. This is what Pittston area just wants to do. Keep it close. Walter, can't get it to go. Agapito, big board.
Don't be surprised if Crestwood continues to double team in the half court, especially if McGarry has the ball. Force him to give it up, make one of the other four beat you.
I'm not sure that's what Coach Atherton wants from Johnson. He kind of forced it with the right hand. He's a lefty. So giving a possession away, not what you want to do against Pittston area, who's just going to take the air out of the ball.
Little 1-4 high set for the Patriots.
Lepresto having a good night. This is McGarry, 16 on the night. He had a high this year of 26 against Berwick. Good D from Crestwood.
And if you notice, Pittston area looking to play the hot hand. They're running everything right now for McGarry. They did a little screen-to-screener action to get him a shot. It was well defended, though, by Crestwood.
2 quick shots in the possession. Mark Atherton's talking to his assistants. Why are they doing that?
Yeah. Something that keeps coaches up late at night.
Not you, Billy.
No. I already lost my hair. Semenza and Atherton have been coaching forever. They still have all their follicles up top.
And timeout called by Al Semenza. Wants to set something up with 5:34 left in this game and his team trailing by 1. And here's our upcoming schedule. We're back at it tomorrow, us and the crew. Billy gets a day off. He's got school. We will be at Luzerne County Community College. Talk about that in a second. They'll take on Lehigh Carbon. That's at 5 o'clock tomorrow, special time. Then we have our 2 girls games next week. We have the pink game on Tuesday at Abington Heights. Then the big rematch between Scranton Prep and Scranton. That's a great girls game. We'll be on the air at 7 o'clock. Back to Luzerne County Community College. Why? Mark Atherton's dad. His father, Jim, dean of local basketball coaches. He won 651 games at Luzerne County Community College.
That's one amazing run.
That's why his name's on the gym.
Yes, and that's why he's in just about every local sports Hall of Fame.
Yes, that's right. That's right. He died about in 2010. He passed away, but I know his son, Mark, feels a great deal for Luzerne. They've been out of the game for 3.5 years, Billy. They shut down the program at COVID. Now they're making their way back.
Now it's
and
back.
What a history they have.
Yeah, and that's great to see. Luzerne, a 2-year school. However, they've sent players to local colleges who have had impacts. I remember at Marywood, you probably remember the name Duron Dickerson.
Yep.
Great player for us at Marywood when I was assistant for Eric Grumman. He played at Luzerne. They've done a great job over the years. Thrilled to see the Trailblazers bringing back their men's basketball program.
And we'll have that tomorrow at 5 p.m. Doug Walsh, our buddy on the call.
Mr. Basketball.
Yeah, he is Mr. Basketball. So out of the timeouts, Al Semenza sets up the play. McGarry with the hot hand.
And you would feel that they're going to play through him. Don't be shocked now. Crestwood throws 2 at the ball and forces McGarry to give it up.
Walter lost it and thought it went off of Sklarowski's foot. It did not, and Al Semenza can't believe it.
And turnovers are frustrating for all coaches, but that was an unforced one, and those are the ones that really hurt.
Here Crestwood now up a point. They trailed at the end of 3.
With the exception of showing a little 1-3-1, Pittston area's mostly been man-to-man all night.
Nice up and under moon from Sklarowski, the senior.
One of the reasons why he was one of our Toyota Spotlight players of the game.
He has just 7 points.
And we got a player control here. Foul going the other way. Looks like that'll be on Lynn.
That's going to go against Bilbo. I think they put it up on the board. And Al Semenza says no.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah, Coach Semenza not happy. However, it's on to the next play.
It is. It's an area now needs a defensive stop. Agapito almost walked there. Now he's going to post up into the corner. And off the mark from Seckler. Big board from Bilbo.
That was a good look. They had Agapito open on the block with Bilbo right playing directly behind him. Probably should have got a touch there.
McGarry being covered by Johnson. Outside shot, no good. But Walter, big board. Underneath. Next whistle is our break. And back out to Lepresto.
And Pittston Aries really held their own on the glass. You know, they were giving up a lot of size underneath, and I would say boards probably about even. And if they are getting out rebound, it's not by much.
McGarry off the dribble, off the pass and catch. Nice board from him. 18 for McGarry.
And that's the lesser of two evils, crowding him off the three-point line and forcing him to take a mid-range shot.
I think he got fouled too, but that's just me. And inside, Wright gets the roll.
This one going down to the wire, Mr. Ride.
That it is. If you're Pittston area, you don't need a 3 yet. We still have our immediate timeout. Just get a 2, Walter. Lepresto off the kick. No kick call. Johnson has it. And with a hoop and the harm for Derek Johnson. And that will take us to break as Crestwood extends their lead by 5. And after the timeout, we'll have this finish here on my TV, WQMY. Billy, here's the replay. Look at Lepresto. A little hard, do you think?
Yeah, after the play, you have the foul. But however, after the shot, Lepresto kind of drives Derek Johnson into the mat. Got away with one there. Great job by Johnson, though, to maintain his composure and not react physically. And, of course, he converted. He's going to the line for the conventional three-point play.
Yeah, so Crestwood was down. And now they battle back with good defense. They really forced Pittston area into shots that they don't want. And a great job, too, by our camera person, John Gumble, underneath.
Now the Patriots have a slew of timeouts left. I would assume Al Semenza is probably going to use the vast majority, if not all of them, and probably script out each and every possession the rest of the way.
Johnson, not a very good free throw shooter, believe it or not. 47%, he misses that.
It's still only a 2-possession game, under 3 minutes, tons of time. You can't panic if you're Pittston.
Nope. McGarry with the hot hand. Let's see what they do with him. They get it to him, guarded by Johnson. He didn't look to take him off the dribble or anything. Possession arrow, by the way, goes to Crestwood. McGarry thought about it out there. They got a call. He traveled. Good defense over by Chaz Wright, the senior.
Can't afford to have empty possessions at this point if you're the Patriots. Critical stop here for Pittston area. Keep this a 2-possession game.
Not really many subs in the second half for either team.
No, they're going with the ones they brought to the dance, as the saying goes.
Acapito fouled. Lost control of the ball, but...
I believe this will be a non-shooting situation. It'll be Comet's ball underneath.
But is their 4th team foul.
And it'll be double bonus the rest of the way for Crestwood. I'm not a fan of the new foul rule. Don't get me started on that.
Yeah. Walter's second foul. Yeah, I think without a shot clock, it doesn't really do any good.
It bails out teams.
Bilbo going to be called for a travel, and Coach Semenza wants a timeout. He is at half court trying to call a timeout. Joe DiMaggio grants it. Al Semenza at mid-court. Can't believe that call. Welcome back, Al Semenza.
And his son Steven doing the right thing, making sure his dad gets back in the huddle. You know, Coach Semenza, he made the official where he wasn't happy, but he's got a game to coach. 2-possession game here with, about 2 minutes left. This is still a ball game. As I was saying about the new foul rule, it kind of bails out teams that struggle from the free throw line late if they have a lead. Psychologically, it's an advantage if you're guaranteed to have a second free throw. If it's a one-on-one situation, a little bit different. If you know you're getting that second free throw psychologically, I think that helps.
But Crestwood just a 56% foul shooting team. Does it behoove you to start foul? Because even if they make 1 of 2 the rest of the way, you still have a chance to get back into it.
Absolutely, and it's definitely, I guarantee it's something they're talking about right now in the huddle. However, tons of time. 2-possession game. 2 minutes and change left. With that being said, Crestwood has a boatload of fouls to give. So if it's late and Pittston area is not in the bonus, look for Crestwood to foul so that they cannot get into an offensive rhythm or they will not allow them to run the set that they've drawn up.
Okay, so it will be Crestwood ball out of bounds. They do hold the possession arrow still. Let's see if, with 2 minutes left, Coach Atherton takes the air out of the ball and slows this one down.
And the clock is your friend here. If you're going to take a shot, it's got to be a good one.
Almost a penalty. We have a timeout call. Mark Atherton, 1:56. Let's see what he has to say.
And that'll be a full timeout. In these timeouts, a lot of times they will not just script the upcoming possession. They'll probably script maybe the next 2 or 3. So probably Mark Atherton not just talking about what he wants to run here, but probably the next 2 or 3 times down in the event there's not a timeout.
Time to look at 3A standings. Riverside leading the way. 04 just forged ahead. Now they're in second place, Mid-Valley Carbondale. And Holy Redeemer, the defending champs, down in 5th. They're having an okay year. Some new players, of course, for Holy Redeemer. But again, they can't count out them, the Royals, the rest of the way.
Yeah, they got Mark Atherton's son, who's battle-tested, who's played in big games in the past. They have David Popson transferring in from Hanover area. He's a factor underneath, and George Sabatini as well.
Yeah.
And they just had a great win over the weekend, I believe, at Nanacoke.
They did. How about Riverside? Not unexpected.
Riverside, it's great to see Jerry Rose back. He was out all last year with an ankle injury. He's playing great. His younger brother, Braden, a freshman in the middle. A young, fun team. Josh Janiska does a tremendous job. I think, however, 3A is pretty wide open. Old Forge is playing their best basketball right now. And don't sleep on Mid-Valley. They have a 1,000-point scorer in Ricky Vanaski, and Mike Abda does a tremendous job year in, year out.
And a victory over Riverside already.
You are correct.
Okay, after the timeout, Crestwood has the ball. Let's see what they want to do up 5. Agapito in the paint.
Great job by Mark Atherton to make sure he got his best player a touch, and he got Agapito in the lane, and now it's a 3-possession game.
Walter, he connects.
Big hoop.
And his first 2. Agapito has 15 points on the night. Walter, his first field goal. We still have a 5-point game.
No, on the made basket, Pittston area called timeout. Don't be shocked here, Bob, if they're going to press here. But great find to Walter, short corner. Shoots it with confidence and drains it. But I would assume that Pittston area right now, they're going to extend their defense, maybe trap the first pass. If they don't get something out of it, they may eventually foul, but I think they'll look to trap aggressively, try and create a turnover, and then maybe, on the back end of the press, they may foul.
There you see our timeouts left on the scoreboard. They get extras because we have the media timeouts, and then they keep their 5. So that you're wondering why all these timeouts are left. That is why. So it's Coaches versus Cancer night in northeastern Pennsylvania, throughout the area. Get out to one of the games, make a donation. Valley View will have their program tomorrow night, so if you're in the area, get up there. It's always well done, and what a great job in raising money everywhere between the Wyoming Valley Conference and Lackawanna League.
And at Delmore High School, where I teach and coach, we're having our Coaches versus Cancer game tomorrow night where the boys will host that same Mid-Valley team we're just talking about. Our cheerleading coach, Mara Riley, does a great job every year coordinating. She has a raffle every year, and she just does a stellar job raising money for the American Cancer Society.
So Pittston area, as expected, comes out in the press.
And again, they don't have to foul right away.
Who do you foul? That's the question.
It depends how late in the clock you get.
Yeah.
At this point, I wouldn't. We'll see. They can afford maybe to do a little run and jump here. You still got over a minute.
Johnson or Wright, I would say at this point.
But I think now you got to give one. And Coach Semenza barking out the orders to foul.
Yep, and they foul Sklarowski, 61% on the season. So he'll shoot 2.
And again, with the new foul rule, Skolarski probably feeling a little bit better about things, being that he has 2 shots instead of the old traditional 1-and-1.
He's 0 for 2 on the night, and he hits that one.
Coach Semenza going back to Chris Scavo, who's one of his better shooters.
My apologies. Skorowski is 3 for 3 on the night and make it 4 for 4.
Got the home gym roll on that one.
Yeah, he's got 9 total points.
Pittston area's got to go quick.
McGarry blocked from behind by Johnson. Instead, they're going to send McGarry to the line. Clock stops, exactly 1 minute left.
If you're Pittston area, you're thrilled. You have an opportunity here to add points to the scoreboard with the clock stop. Great job by McGarry. He didn't necessarily need a 3 there. They were going to give him a pat to the rim, and he took it, and Crestwood fouled, which I'm sure Mark Atherton not happy about.
19th point for McGarry.
So Pittston area here going offense-defense. They're going defense with Bilbo, and then when they have an opportunity to sub on the offensive end, they'll bring in Scavo, their second-best three-point shooter on the team.
Big offensive board by Walter, and they turn it over. Oh, man. They had what they wanted, but Walter threw a bad pass right into the hands of Crestwood, and the Comets are going to go to the line again.
Now Pittston area wise to foul quickly there, and Seckler only a 50% free throw shooter. So I'm sure Al Semenza in one of those timeouts talked about guys they want to foul. He probably talked about the guys on the floor for Crestwood that aren't the best free throw shooters. Seckler, however, converts. They've been clutch down the stretch so far, Crestwood.
Well, they're going to need the free throw shooting if they want to beat a Wilkes-Barre and Hazleton again and even win a district title against the Comets. McGarry, almost got away with a double dribble. I thought he stopped his dribble. And it will go over to Pittston area as Chaz Wright lost it.
So it'll be Patriots ball, sideline out of bounds here. Again, these two teams very well coached. These are situations that they work on probably not every day in practice, but multiple times a week.
Walter has the lane. They'll let him take that shot. And a quick timeout by Coach Semenza. He's got 1 left. So it's a 5-point game.
Yeah, great job by McGarry. Walter realizing Crestwood doesn't want to foul, that they're going to give up the 2. He takes it. Coach Semenza calls a timeout. I'm sure they're going to pick up full court, trap the first pass. If they don't get something quick, though, they're going to give a foul. Bob, both coaches tonight in the 500 win club. Al Semenza, little trivia question, his 300th career win came against which opposing coach?
300?
Yeah.
So that's a while ago.
I'll give you a hint. He was at Old Forge.
He was at Old Forge.
I'll give you a hint. He's sitting to your immediate right.
Oh, he's here.
District playoffs. He ended our season when I was the head coach of Forest City up at North Poco in the district semifinals. That was Coach Semenza's 300th win. One of his better players, a name you're familiar with, Jake Minetti, who is now the head football coach of West Scranton.
Yep. So who's the Go Forge coach sitting to my right? Oh. You! See? Took me a while. I didn't realize I thought you were at Forest City. I didn't realize you were at Old Forge.
No, I was at Forest City.
I was at Forest City.
Yeah,
okay.
district semifinals. Yep. Game was at North Pocono.
So on the floors, we got away from that in the conversation. Seckler's going to go to line to shoot 2. As expected, Pittston area just going to start fouling. Doesn't matter now. Seckler just has to hit his foul shots the rest of the way.
If he misses this one, it's a 2-possession game with the 3-point shot.
Yeah, Crestwood will make it 2 in a row.
However, Pittston area cannot stop the clock. They are out of timeouts.
Well, the final score of the last game was 46-38, and we're close to that now.
And we talked about Crestwood having a boatload of fouls to give. They just gave one there. They're going to make sure the Pittston area does not get into an offensive rhythm here.
Coach Atherton going to call a timeout. 26 seconds left. 7-point lead now for Crestwood. And remember, Pittston area used a great run in that third quarter to take the lead, and then it's been Crestwood in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, fourth quarter there was probably 2 or 3 careless turnovers that I think Pittston area would want to have back. 1 or 2 of those were unforced, which I'm sure that'll keep Coach Semenza up all night tonight. But they're a young team, like we said in the beginning. Bilbo's their only senior. You know, this is a learning experience, trial by fire. They're going to get better as the season goes on, and like you said, they have the gauntlet coming up the next 3 games: Hazleton, Wilkes-Barre, and Dallas.
Yeah, they do. They really do. They'll learn a lot and hopefully get into the district playoffs, get that extra practice and experience in the playoffs. And hey, they could not get someone out.
Oh, I wouldn't want to play an Al Semenza team in the postseason. Are you kidding? You know they're going to be prepared, more than prepared. They're going to play their hearts out, and they're going to leave everything on the floor.
Well, I thank the administration from Crestwood, Mark Atherton, Al Semenza, and John Walsh for helping us out with stats and letting us come to Mountaintop tonight. And we're just glad it didn't snow. We got canceled. Let's be honest. It's winter. Scavo got it.
Back to a 2-possession game.
And a foul. That's why you bring Scavo into the game, to hit those outside shots, his second 3 of the night. He is 17 now on the season.
And Mark Atherton was worried about Pittston area shooters, both McGarry and Scavo, and rightfully so. They made their share of shots tonight, Bob.
Here's our spotlight player, Sklarowski, a senior, steps right up. Perfect on the night from the line. And he'll go into double digits along with Acapito. He's got 11.
And that should ice it.
McGarry is going to add to his stats. Can't get that one to go, and I think he hurt his ankle. They're going to run this out. Nope, we're going to call timeout for an injured player. McGarry came down awkwardly on that ankle. But what a night. How about him? PJ McGarry, 18 points tonight.
And he's on a roll, because in the previous game he had 26 down at Berwick.
Yep.
We hope that he's just a little shaken up.
And that will do it. What a fight from Pittston area, but Crestwood improves to 7-1 in conference play to pick up win number 12 on the season, but it was a tough one here in Mountaintop. When Billy and I come back, we'll have our players of the game after this. And we are back. The final score, Crestwood wins their 12th game of the season, 45-39 over Pittston area. We have our players of the game right now. Aiden Acapito, just a sophomore. In that first quarter, you had it going. What was going right for you in that quarter, Aiden?
We were just in a little bit of a slump, and I decided to just go strong. I was bigger than my guy, so I decided to just say whatever and just go and take my shots and what I think I can make and what I'm capable of.
You're in a lineup with a lot of seniors. What have you learned from these seniors this year?
I learned just to stay disciplined and to not rush a lot of things and to just get things going and to get everybody involved. And yeah.
What's going right for this team right now?
I think our defense. I think a lot of other teams, when they play like 70s and they're in the 60s, and I think even when we win or lose, teams don't really reach high 50s, usually low 40s, high 30s, high 40s. And I think our defense is the main part of our team.
Great job tonight. Let's bring in Matt Sklarowski now. Matt, a big win. You had a big win the other night against Hazleton, a big win tonight. You have some games coming up that are going to be tough, but you guys are rolling right now. What's going right for you?
It's just we continue to play strong defense, and that keeps us in these games. And then most of the time we're starting slow in offense, but once we get going, we start pulling away, and I think that's what's going to lead us to some of these wins down the road.
Any panic at the end of the third when Pittston area forged ahead?
No, we prepare for these moments, so we were calm. We knew that we were going to have to stay disciplined and get better offensively in order to win the game, and that's what we did.
What do you want to see from this team the rest of the way? Obviously, Hazleton coming up, Dallas, and Wilkes-Barre in that mix.
I think we just need to keep playing our good defense, stay patient offensively, and I think we'll get our shots, and I think we'll stay competitive down the road.
Well, good luck the rest of the way. Our players of the game, Matt Skorowski and Aiden Acapito. We'll bring Billy back in right now, guys. Thank you. And Billy, we'll talk about Pittston area first, but again, there's no harm in this loss. They led after 3. They just couldn't close out the 4.
Yeah, they played tremendous, had a couple lapses late that cost them, but this is something to build on. And as I mentioned before, Elsa Mensa teams get better as the season goes on. Not a club you want to see in the District 5A playoffs.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Crestwood. They're rolling right now. They talked about their defense. It starts with them, with Mark Atherton's team.
Yeah, they get up into you man-to-man. They'll extend their defense press. It's been a great week. They, high-quality win against Hazleton on Monday. They took Pittston area's best shot tonight and survived. And, they can't sleep on Tunkhannock, and then they got Dallas.
Absolutely. Billy, thank you. We'll see Billy again. Dallas at Hazleton, February 8th. Tomorrow, we'll have Doug Walsh in your seat. We love Doug. We'll be at Luzerne County Community College. They take on Lehigh Carbon. We'll be on the air at 5 p.m. Our next high school game will be next Tuesday, North Poco and Abington Heights. That's the annual Pink Game. So for the entire Fox 56 sports crew, for Billy Jones, and thank you to the administration here at Crestwood for having us tonight. This is Bob Ide saying so long. Get out to a game this week. Support Coaches versus Cancer of NEPA.
You're watching Badfitter High School Hoops, presented by Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships, only on MyTV WQMY.